Hello, I'm going to be posting a number of short videos for those people who have not played guitar at all before. So these are going to be for the complete beginners. The plan is to put up 20 or 30 very short lessons, 2 minutes or less, where you can start from the very beginning. A lot of my other lessons have been for people who already play somewhat, particularly the fingerstyle lessons. So as I do distribute DVD lessons through my eBay store and by direct contact and at festivals, including a range of beginner DVDs. So some of these will just simply be those type of lessons, starting right from the beginning. One of the things that you will find when you first start playing is the tips of your fingers, particularly on your fretting hand, that is the hand that is forming the chords and notes on the fretboard of the guitar, will get sore. The tips of those fingers will get sore no matter what instrument that you play. However, it will be a less painful experience if you're a beginner to start with a nylon string guitar. The other thing with nylon string guitars is you can spend a bit less money and still get something that sounds reasonably decent. With steel string guitars, it's a little more critical to buy a better quality instrument. However, we'll assume at the moment that you've already got a guitar, although in later lessons I might talk to you more particularly about quality of guitars, etc. So let's assume that you've got your guitar. So first things first, I want to teach you a chord. Now that might seem like I'm jumping ahead a little bit because we haven't talked about tuning of the guitar or anything yet, but I'm going to assume for a moment that you've bought a little electronic tuner, because these things are commonly available now. The one that I use is a Planet Waves. I think it's really good, and this can be actually clipped onto the end of the guitar, and I can turn it on and I can tune the strings. Now I'm going to do a whole lesson on that shortly, but I'm going to assume for a moment that you've got your guitar in tune, and we're going to learn the very first chord because I want you to start making music immediately. The first chord that we're going to learn is an E chord, an E major chord. I'm going to talk more about theory later on to explain what I mean by E major, but at the moment it's a visual thing as well as an oral thing. I just want you to be able to see and hear the sound of this chord. Here is an E chord. Now, when I talk about the numbering of the strings, I'm going to talk about number 1 string being the thinnest string at the bottom there of the guitar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to take your index finger, your pointer finger on your left hand, and you're going to put it on just behind the first fret. Now these are the frets. This is the fretboard. These are the frets, the horizontal wires across that form the notes. So you have to, in order to play these notes, you have to play just behind the fret. What you're doing is you're making that length of string there go over that fret up to the saddle, which is what this thing's called down here, and that's creating that length of string there. I'll talk about the science, if you like, behind it a bit later on. But so you place your index finger just behind that first fret of the 3rd string. You take your middle finger and you put it just behind the 2nd fret of the 5th string. And you take your ring finger, or 3rd finger, and you place it just behind the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Now I just want you to play it with your thumb. Just count in 4s for the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's your E chord.